Good morning, madlang people, kapatid,
Kapamilya.
Kapuso. But before anything else, we would like to introduce ourselves for you to become acquainted about us.
So, I am Mary Claire A. Cobillo, your first reporter.
I'm Eden May Reyes, your second reporter.
And as for your third reporter, I am Jessa Mary B. Trapa.
We are hoping that you guys are tuning in about our topic for today.
But wait, guys. What is our topic for today?
It's all about creativity, creativity, creativity.
I love the spirit. I think there's a lot of creativity in the air.
Exactly. Did you know that creativity is one of the acquired skills in the 21st century?
Precisely, because as a 21st century learner, we should acquire that skill.
Yeah, I agree. It also defines that being creative is capability to see things in different ways with the use of our imagination.
That's exactly our point.
So, for example, I have a box here. Do you see that?
Yes.
So, I want you to think, how will you incorporate creativity in this box?
I've got an idea about this box. For me, I want to wrap this box with a creative and colorful wrapping paper. What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yes.
For me also, I
think
want
so.
this box to be my personal jewelry box.
It would be possible, but for me, I want this box to recycle and use it as a wall decoration. Isn't it possible, guys?
Yes, it would be possible.
Very creative.
Exactly. But guys, too much for this because the rest is something that you will find out about our report.
So next reporter, the screen is all yours.
Thank you for your acknowledgement. So we will go on now our first topic. So we will see you there.
Stay tuned.
Bye-bye.
Hello everyone. So today we're going to tackle about creativity in 21st century. What is creativity? Everyone must be creative, whether you realize it or not. But in reality, we have it all. It depends on how we interpret on it. But some people think that they are not creative because they don't have any talents. They are not like an artist. They are not a musician, a painter, or a dancer. But creativity is more than just an artistic expression. Even if an ordinary people, they can probably creating creativity in making decisions, problem solving on our daily basis. So creativity is all about how you interpret things by using it in our practical ways, like coming up an alternate solutions, or for example in our home, doing our household chores, or organizing our stuffs, organizing our things at home. But we might think that we're not creative like what others did. But take a look what we did in our day-to-day basis. If we are going to appreciate it, we are going to appreciate what we've done, then we're surprised that we can accept that we have a creative thinking. We might say that, oh, I am a creative one. So creativity is how you see things. It depends on how you see things and appreciate what you've done. So next is we will define what is creativity. So creativity is both skill and a process. Something that we can learn like any other skill. It is something that we can get it better if we practice and repeat on it. Creativity also defines that it is a mindset of flexibility. So we are capable of being flexible. So being flexible is being able to try new things, experiment, and not afraid of taking risk. So when we say taking risk, we need to adapt, we need to grow, and accept changes. Accept changes for the better because the world demands with it. So next is creativity in 21st century. It is the process of having an original ideas that have value. And originality is seen as the most important aspect of creativity because something must be novel and unique in some way to be considered as creative. So there are 4 C's of education and one of these is creativity. What are the 4 C's of education? First is communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. So communication. It is the ability to communicate with people with various backgrounds. So through effective communication, we can gather new information and formulate ideas. And next is collaboration. Collaboration is the ability to collaborate with others. So it is the process of collaborating with others to achieve the common goal. And according to John Haywood's, 2 heads is better than 1. Yes, it's true. Because when we are collaborating, we can formulate a better idea or we can create a creative ideas because we don't know that our peers, they have also their own idea and also the other one. So if we collaborate it, we can formulate a great idea that can come up with a better result. Next is critical thinking. It is the ability to come up own answers rather than relying on others' answers. In collaboration, we need to share our ideas to formulate a creative solution. But not all the time that collaboration is necessary because there are some situations that we should stand alone because in 21st century, critical thinking is expected in the learning process for us to become, to boost our common sense. It also develop our abilities to become independent and self-directed. And lastly is creativity. It is the ability to use our imagination and be creative. It also allows us to express ourselves through imaginative thinking. So as you can remember, I have given an example earlier about a box. And I asked my peers if how can they incorporate creativity with a box. So Miss Trapa says that she would wrap it a colorful paper to make it beautiful. And also Miss Reyes said that she would wrap it a colorful decoration to use as a wall decoration in their home. So as you can see that with a simple box, we can make it valuable and beautiful through our imaginative thinking. And that is one example of creativity. Next is how to foster creativity. First, giving students rich opportunities in their learning environment to explore technologies. So as we all know that we are now in 21st century, we are a learner-centered. So as future educators, we need to allow our students in engaging them new technologies so that they will comprehend deeply and think creatively. Like for example, during our laboratories, our teachers allows us to engage laboratory activities. Like for example, knowing what are the tools and equipments in laboratory. So by that, we are able to know what are the uses and functions of those materials. And we have an opportunity to apply what we have learned during our discussions, like baking, sewing, and other laboratory activities. Engage in play. So we should motivate our students in engaging play for them to enhance their skills and talents like dance and music, because creativity is not just seen in academic learning process, but it also seen in dance and music. Like for example, dance. So through creativity, they can formulate a better choreography and a concept of a dance. Next is be immersed in a design process, inquire and investigate. Like for example, we each students, we have now an undergraduate thesis. So by that, creativity is in the process. Why? Because it involves critical thinking. To think critically, we can come up a possible solution to our problem. And by inquiring and investigating, communication also involves on it, because effective communication, we can formulate new ideas from others to have our own concept and content to our problem. So that undergraduate thesis is one of example to enhance the creative thinking of the learner. Next topic is about creativity and design thinking for educators. So what is design thinking? Design thinking is human-centered. It challenges problem solving. It tackles real-world issues, providing students with meaningful work. It develops their abilities to empathize with others, to define problem, take the necessary step forward finding a viable solution. There are 5 important phases of design thinking. So first is discovery, understanding and researching the problem. So it is the process to gain empathic understanding of the problem you are trying to solve. So this involves consulting to find out more about the area of concern through observing, engaging with people to understand their experiences and motivations. Next is interpretation, connecting the dots on your research. So it is the process of analyzing. Connecting the dots means gathering ideas to establish features or elements where we can solve a problem. The third one is ideation. It is generating and refining ideas on how to solve the problem. So in this process, this involves critical thinking. So think outside the box. By identifying new solution to the problem, we should investigate and look for alternative ways of viewing the problem. The fourth one is experimentation. Testing your ideas, collaborating with others, and getting feedback. So testing your ideas means it is experimental phase in order for us to identify what are the best solution to our problem. Collaborating with others. So collaboration will be applied at this stage to come up a better solution. So through collaboration, we can gather possible solution and clearer view of our problem. So lastly is evolution. Drawing conclusions, evolving ideas, and moving forward. So at this process, this stage, we can identify if our solution is applicable to our problem. So if not, then we need to repeat and practice it until we get the best result or the best answer. If we can get the best result, so we can move forward. We can move forward what is the next in our learning process. So that's all, and thank you. I hope you guys actively listening and comprehend about my topic, which is creativity. Bye-bye!
So, good morning everyone. I am your second reporter and my topic is all about creativity through the arts and why arts are important. So, first, what is art? So, art is any creative work of human being. Art is a form of expressing oneself. Art also an act of making something visually entertaining and an activity that manifests the beauty. Art, also known as the most intense mode of individualism that the world has known. So, to sum up, art is the expression or application of human creative skills and imagination, typically in a visual form, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. It also encompasses diverse media such as painting, sculpture, printmaking, drawing, decorative arts, photography, and installation that produces a product or an object. So, how does art help creativity? So, art in particular helps us develop the broader sense of everyday life. So, one way that art helps children is to develop creative skills is to let them go outside of the box. So, a child or a student allowed to express and experiment freely in creating art builds that inner wiring of their innovation. So, another is art also helps develop decision making because through arts we can also practice critical thinking skills by making a mental plan or picture of what they intend to create and following through the plan. So exposure to and experience with the arts allows children to create, design, generate, and compose new ideas. So there are easy tips for nurturing creativity through the arts. So first, allow children spontaneous art explorations they can do on their own. So meaning let the children explore and discover with their own. By letting them, they can use their imagination. Second, create an art center in your classroom where children can freely explore and discover on their own with easy material. Keep accessible for them. So, much better to have an art center where children can enjoy and widen their creativity. So, the next one is emphasize the enjoyment and the value of the process of creating art more than the results or the finished product. So, the finished result of a young child's work are not as important to that child as the exploration and experimentation that went into creating them. So it is important to add that children should expect to make mistakes. It is finding solution, modifying their experiences that will make the value of creativity most evident. The fourth is encourage children to try new ways of doing things. So it is important to encourage the students to think up their own twist and turns to make their project unique. So there is no right way and no wrong way to do art. There is only your way. And then expand creativity into other areas of the curriculum. So put in some lively music and encourage children to draw what they hear. By doing this will nurture brain development and broaden the familiar activity of drawing to new all-time high. Then, lastly, show your appreciation of your children's creativity by displaying the art they choose to display. So, we as a future educator, we should appreciate and accept the works of our students, especially artworks, accept their evaluations of their own work. So, teachers who respect children's ideas help them learn to think and solve problems for themselves. So, children or students who feel free to make mistakes and to explore and experiment will also feel free to invent, create, and find new ways to do things. So, the side benefits is that fostering creativity in our classrooms make teaching more rewarding and fun and gives children or students a zest for imagining and learning to last a lifetime. Let's move on to the next topic, why the arts are important. So we use art for our entertainment, cultural appreciation, aesthetics, personal movement, and even social change. So we use art in order to thrive in this world. So art is very important to us because through arts we can express our feelings or emotions, able us to know the different cultural appreciation, and also it gives us happiness by just seeing those artworks. Also through arts we can be creative in our own way through our imagination. So art is very important in society because it is an essential ingredient to empowering the hearts of people. So, when activists are showing images of children suffering from poverty or oppression in their campaigns, so this is the art pulling the heartstrings of societies elite and powerful to make changes. Similarly, when photographers publish the photos of war-torn areas, it catches the attention of masses whose hearts reach out for those who need help. So, when an artist creates great music and movies, it entertains people around the world. This is art making a difference in a society. Second, arts integrates mind, body, soul, and spirit. So, art drives thinking. So, thinking drives conscience. When conscience delivers realization, then realization turn out to an action. So, that a powerful action can change the world. So, that is one reason why arts is important. The third importance is great art elicits powerful sentiments and tells meaningful stories. So, art can take the form of film, music, theater, and pop culture, all of which aim to entertain and make people happy. But when films, songs, or plays are made for a specific audience or purpose, the arts begins to diversify. So, for films, for example, can be made to spread awareness or cultural appreciation. Songs can also be composed in a way that they are bring out certain emotions, give inspiration, or boost the morale of people. Next is Art encourages self expression. After all, the essence of art is expressing oneself. So, why self expression is important? When we're not able to express ourselves, we feel suffocated. We need to find ways in which we can express ourselves in a meaningful and positive manner. Art promotes an outlet to let our imaginations fly high. The fifth one is art explains world's two most powerful concepts, love and death. So art makes you realize why other humans are important, which in fact allows us to understand each other. So essentially, it is the way we interact with the world around us, and this interaction holds great value. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Then the last is art is also a remarkable mode of depicting culture from all over the world. So art has the power to take cultural practices from where they are from and they then transport and integrate them into different parts of the world without losing their identity. So there, these art forms can be used to entertain, create awareness, and even inspire foreigners to accept these cultures no matter how strange or alien they may seem. This is especially important in our highly globalized world. Art has played an important role in helping fight against intolerance of different cultures, racism, and other forms of unjust societal segregation. So, with immigration becoming a growing trend, the world's countries are expected to be more tolerant and accepting of those who enter their borders. Art helps make that happen by making sure that identities and their culture are given due recognition around the world. Art is so powerful because it touches us emotionally. Yes, indeed. When we see a powerful work of art, we feel it touching deep within our core, giving us the power to make real life changes. Art can be considered powerful because of these following reasons. First, it has the power to educate people. It can create awareness and present information in a way that could be absorbed by many easily. In a world where there are those who don't even have access to good education, art makes education an even greater equalizer of society. Second, it promotes cultural appreciation among a generation that's currently preoccupied with their technology. So, in fact, it can be said that if it weren't for art, our history, culture, and traditions would be in more danger of being forgotten than they already are. Next is it breaks cultural, social, and economic barriers. While art can't really solve poverty or promote social justice on its own, it can be used as a level playing field for discourse and expression. So, the reason why everyone can relate to art is that everyone has emotions and personal experiences. Therefore, anyone can learn to appreciate art regardless of their social background, economic standing, or political affiliation. And the last one, it accesses higher orders of thinking. So, art doesn't just make you absorb information, rather, it makes you think about current ideas and inspire you to make your own. This is why creativity is a form of intelligence. It is a special ability that unlocks the potential of the human mind. In fact, students have shown that exposure to art can make you better in other fields of knowledge.
So, good morning once again. I hope you're still there. So, don't worry, I'm the last one to report. So, my assigned topic for today is all about visual and media arts.
It is under creativity through arts. So I believe my co-group mates have already discussed thoroughly what creativity is. But I also have my definition of creativity, and I want to share this with you. So creativity is necessary to human survival, prosperity, civilization, and well-being as well. Creativity comes along with your inspiration, with your imagination, and it separates the best from the good. So being creative, it is your ability to see the difference between the best one from the good one. And creativity is one of the skills that we must acquire in the 21st century. So let's move on now to visual art. So what is visual art, by the way? So it includes what we call this, the fields of art, crafts, and design. So it's all about the articulation of your artwork. So students create their own artwork that aims to communicate, that aims to challenge, that aims to express their own idea and others' ideas. So in that way, there is no explanation at all, there is no conversation, because their artwork has already a message, has an idea already that they want to transmit, that they want to relate to the viewers. So all you have to do as a viewer is to look at, is to see. All you have to do is to look at and see their artwork and try to internalize what kind of message they want to relate to you. So that's the essence of visual art. In that case, the students develop their perceptual and conceptual understanding, as well as their critical thinking and practical skills are working, because before you start your piece or artwork, there's already a plan. There is already a concept that lies behind, back in your mind, that I will draw this in this manner, I will articulately maneuver this artwork in this way. So that's it. That's how will you visualize your artwork. There is a concept and perception that lies back in your mind. So also, visual art, the artist also, they learn about the role of an artist, craftsperson, and designer, and their contribution to society. So you can all relate to the hardships, to the current conditions, or to the situations that the artist undergo or undergone. So there is already that dili din nila lim ing ani nga trabaho, because art is not easy to maneuver. I myself, I cannot say that I'm that good at art, because art is, I don't know. art is something that you need to develop in yourself organically. So now our next slide is all about visual creativity. It is the ability to break imagine integrations of familiar patterns and create novel and useful patterns, which is considered multifaceted and complex. So being visually creative is a skill for most artists, because they're going to break down into pieces their imagined ideas, and that they modify that idea to become a useful and significant one. In that case, they incorporate creativity in that. So that's it. That's how you become visually creative. You see something, and then you integrate or you incorporate that idea into another artwork so that it becomes significant. However, you might ask yourself right now, how to boost your own personal creativity, because I believe we have creativity in ourselves right now, and the lack is the development, the exploration that we need to develop, or that we need to employ. So for me, you can take classes or enroll in some classroom courses, but I think, or I suppose, you need to pay such money, and all your time will be devoted. So, according to Christopher Paolini, learn to see what you are looking at. Visual creativity is all about seeing the things with a different way. In this sense, we should look at at the things or at the object or in everything we might see in a different angles, because we might not know what lies behind the object or what lies behind the person or the artwork or something that we truly look at the moment. So we should, we should look at it in a different way, in a different angle, in different aspect, so that we will be notified or we will be aware of the things that we might not know if we just look at in this way. Apart from that, visual creativity should be obtained by us naturally so that it becomes an everlasting memory. That's very true, and we can spontaneously apply it to our daily life and in places instantly. So earlier I have mentioned how to boost your visual creativity, but I suppose it will cost you so much money and your time will be devoted as well. But now I'm giving you tips on how to boost your visual creativity without spending too much money, and your time will be saved as well. So first, we have checking out social media websites. Social media websites can teach you a lot. It is considered as one of the best places for you to learn and gain some knowledge upon several topics and subjects. Similarly, if you want, to boost your visual creativity, check out on the social media websites for some tips and ideas. We have Instagram. Visit and follow Instagram accounts. There are accounts which can inspire you in terms of designs, object-based art, paintings, photographies, sketching, and other forms of inspirations. We have also check pins and board. Apart from Instagram, you can also put your trust in Pinterest. In Pinterest, you can easily find ideas and help across topics like photography, writing, and even ebooks. So, following the community websites is our tip number 2. Creativity also depends on learning new things and on getting to know the latest trend that our world is currently following right now. If you want to stay on the loop of this contemporary world, then you must visit websites like boardpanda.com, deeply.com, battlefield.com, and wittyfeed.com. So our third tip is all about go conventional and hit the books. In today's modern and technical world, people have already forgotten the significance of books. Books are the main reason why we've come this far and will still be the prime reason why we continue to survive for the years to come. Reading books is worth the journey. Especially it is true when we want to touch our creative side. We have lots of inspirational books out there, magazines, literaries available in libraries and wherever it is. Reading is very powerful. It can build your vocabulary. It can build your confidence to talk in public and others. So books is very magical. You might see the real beauty if you have the habit to read books, I believe. So our fourth tip is all about doodling. Doodle, doodle, or doodling. You would say that this approach is kind of unconventional, but it is one of the best ways to get your creativity pumped up. All you have to do is to have a piece of paper and start doodling, drawing, or sketching. So our fifth tip is all about learn from the best. So as a creative person, we have that undeniable habit of patronizing, idolizing, or looking up to, or admiration of a certain artist or a certain individual that their artwork have made us moved or inspired. So in that sense, we can truly, or we can easily boost our creativity because we are being influenced by these individuals. So we can keep a collection from their artwork, just like from Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci or Pablo Picasso or others. So, hello everyone. So, our number 6 tip is all about look around for art. Art is something that sparks your brains and help us to become more creative and inspirational. Art is like a drug that gives or allows our body to be more open to ideas and gives our brain the power to execute them. So, by looking around for art, you can have traveling, you can have discoveries, you can visit museums, you can visit libraries, parks, and whatsoever interventions for you to find out what really art is. So, it's up to you. So, our tip number 7 is all about use the benefits of typography. If you believe you are good at arranging text, then you can try your hand at typography. So, what is typography? It is a form of art which involves making text, written languages that are readable, prominent, appealing, and legible when it's posted somewhere. And sometimes it speaks, louder than words. So our next in line is all about being meticulously and particularly. So creativity is all about, observing things with an open mind as well as making mental notes. So you have to check out every inch of the world and process each and every detail of your surroundings. Inspiration can be, hidden in strangest of things. You might as well keep your eyes open for that reason alone. But this is easier than done by most people. Having a sharp eye is one thing, but having a equally good brain to decode messages is another. So the very first secret is that you have to keep a keen eye for things everywhere. So our next in line, we have never leave out any color. So the colors you select portray the emotions that you want to showcase in your artwork or your piece. And when it comes with your visual creativity, it is a vital skill, or it is a vital, method to play around with colors. So white is considered as tranquil or calm. We have also orange that portrays optimistic. You are being conversational and promotes positivity. We have also red that is used for portraying anything important, reminders, signages, precautions. So you see, every color represents own psychological property. So, our last tip is all about keeping our artwork simple. So, it doesn't matter how bad or good we are in terms of designing, in terms of artistry, in terms of creativity. We must not try to overdo anything. Just that. Most artists believe in the notion of less is more. It doesn't matter how much you know about it. You just simply put everything you need in your artwork, the contents, the relevance, the significance, and all. Just make it simple. Indeed, simplicity matters after all. So we are now into our next slide, which is all about media arts. So what is media arts all about? So it encompasses the fields of media, art, and design. It is a study of human communication through film, photography, video, audio, or computer, digital arts, and interactive media. In media arts, students create visual representations that communicate, challenge, and express their own idea and others' idea, as well as both artist and audience.
So we are now in creative media. So creative media talks about digital technology that is transforming the way we make, the way we distribute, the way we receive and exchange art. In that sense, we are committed to supporting digital change and innovation across the art and culture sector. By creative media, we means artistic and cultural works and content created for digital platforms or distributed digitally to reach the public. So now let's talk about principles of media art. So this includes duration, hybridization, interactivity, and last is point of view. So when we say duration, it refers to time and how its perception can be manipulated and presented in media artworks. Hybridization is a technique used in creating artworks in which genres, styles, concepts, materials, media, and other forms are combined all together to create a new hybrid forms. We have interactivity. Interactive media artworks involves the viewer participation in the artwork itself. We have point of view. So point of view can be either conceptual or physical. When we say conceptual point of view, it includes internal, external, subjective, objective, cultural, political, and social viewpoints. We have also physical. Physical point of view includes a bird's eye, worm's eye level, 360-degree, internal, macro, micro, and telescopic viewpoints. So let's move on now to our next major topic, that is music. So music learning combines listening, performing, and composing activities. So these activities develop sequentially enhance students' capacity to perceive and understand music. As students progress in their study of music, they learn to value and appreciate the power of music to transform the heart, the soul, the spirit, and mind of every individual. So in this way, the students develop an aesthetic appreciation and enjoyment about music. So, as usual, I have always a tip for you guys, but this time it is all about how to foster creativity in music. So, first tip, relax, take a few deep breaths for fresh air. So, mindfulness is the key to being creative. Be present for the task at hand, whatever that is. In that sense, undistracted mind will get in the zone much faster. Tip number 2, talk to your students about vision. Vision, vision, vision. There is a much greater chance of resolving a vision that is clear. Tip number 3, encourage kids to be good brainstormers and reflective people. So let's go now to our tip number 4, which is all about don't always go outside first, because it really helps to figure out what's inside a box before you are able to generate ideas that is outside of it. We have tip number 5, create opportunities daily for students to do a creativity workout. Hold them to a higher standard. Your motto could be, don't allow one solution problems in this town. Tip number 6, encourage kids to trust their own instincts and have fun brainstorming. Ideas are plentiful if we suspend our judgment initially. So our last but not the least topic is all about dance. Dance. So it is an expressive movement with purpose and form. So through dance, students express, question, and celebrate human experience using the body as the instrument and movement as the medium of personal, social, emotional, spiritual, and physical communication. So, like all art forms, dance has the capacity to engage, has the capacity to inspire and enrich all students, exciting the imagination and encouraging students to reach their creative and expressive potential. So our next slide is all about creative dance. So it is a type of dance that combines movement with artistic, expressions. So it doesn't require any extensive training because it focuses on the development of your motor skills and expression of emotions. Creative dance is a contemporary form of dance. It doesn't have a specific technique because it is a synthesis of all different styles and forms of dance. Lastly, dancers have the opportunity to create their own personalities while dancing and create their own choreography. So, luckily, we are now in our last slide that is all about the elements of creative dance. We have space, rhythm, time, and force. So, when we talk about space, it refers to using dance to explore different aspects of movement such as level, direction, focus, pathway, and size. When we talk about rhythm, this relates to the concepts of pulse, patterns, accents, and breathing. When we talk about time, it refers or it relates to the speed of your movements, which can be slow, medium, or fast. Lastly, force is another element which is used through the change in energy. You can do this in this way with smooth or sharp, sudden movements and changing the weight in the movement. So that's it.